Welcome back, everybody. I'm Chris Chase, Project Director for the Western Flyer Foundation, and I'm at Mayhem Log and Lumber in Quilcene, Washington. It's about 30 miles south of Port Townsend. Today we're milling up Alaskan yellow cedar. These trees are beautiful. They came out of the North Cascades here in Washington State, up off at Stevens Pass, if you're familiar with that area. They grew up at about 3,200 feet elevation, and they're just spectacular. Almost 30 rings per inch down through here. So we're going to be milling the inner hull planking, or the ceiling we call it on a boat. We're going to be milling 9/4 or 2 1/4 inches thick by random widths and random lengths. That way the shipwrights will have a lot of options when they go to install it. In this video, I want to catch you up with the project, what's new, what's different. I want to mill some lumber, and I want to introduce you to Pete Rust and Tim Lee, the job leads for the Port Townsend Shipwrights Co-op. Thanks again. 23. An 11 and a 23 sounds great. Got about 1,500 feet tallied up so far. We're looking for a total of 3,200 feet. We've cut it into 4 inches, 5 inches, and some of these random widths, but all of it is dressed out at 2 1/4 inches. This will get stickered and air dried, and then when they go to use it, they'll plane it down to a dressed 2 inches, and they'll mill out these wider bores to exactly what they need. Last few weeks have been pretty busy, and Pete's been working on these house sills. These are some of the hardest parts of the entire boat to fit, I think. They have camber, shear, and rolling bevels all the way around the outside. And in his case, they have to fit the old house, fit the deck, and be the exact same height as the originals, so when he puts the house back down, everything fits up nicely. We couldn't find a timber quite big enough, so we chose to laminate it out of 3 pieces of 4 inches of pele, about 18 inches wide, so we could get that sweeping curve cut out of it. Sills about the hardest piece on the whole boat to build.
These pieces are pretty weird.
They're pretty weird. It's like there's something about it. There's so many things going on.
They would be a little easier if I wasn't trying to make those posts match them.
Right.
I'd have a little more. I'd have a little more leeway.
Right. Right.
The other thing.
Of all the work getting done on the Western Flyer right now, this is by far the coolest thing. 100% new purple heart stern. Kind of a once-in-a-lifetime project. Anyway, we're looking at the stern upside down. This is actually the bottom. This is where the hull planking comes into the stern. This first timber, or the bottom timber, we call the rim log. Then we have 4 4-inch timbers on top of that. And then ultimately we'll have another 8-inch timber on the very top that'll have shear and camber cut into it. So as Tim and Brad were dismantling the stern, they made patterns of each layer as they went. Tim took those patterns up to the loft floor, lofted it out full size, and pulled up mylar patterns of each layer of the cake. He was able to take those mylar patterns to the timbers, lay out each individual piece of the stern, take it to the bandsaw, cut out the rolling bevel, and then bring all the pieces back to this table and reassemble them like a giant jigsaw puzzle. The next thing that needs to be done is I'll cut the rabbet in here. The rabbet is where the hull planking fastens to the bottom of the boat. So they'll cut the rabbet in here, and then they'll start assembling them into the boat. They'll take the rim log first, stacking each one of these 4 timbers on top of that, ultimately putting that upper 8-inch timber, the shear and the camber timber in, and then the entire stack will get through bolted with bronze rod. Hey, so I want to introduce Pete Rust and Tim Lee. They are both owners here at the Port Townsend Shipwrights, and they are co-leading the restoration for the shipyard here. Welcome, guys.
Thanks.
Hey, so we have known each other and worked together for 25 years. Pete and I used to work at a timber frame and a couple other boatyards, and Tim and I met each other mid-90s and worked at a place called Baird Boat Company, no longer in business. So again, they're co-leading the project. They kind of divvied the job up into 2 different parts. Tim is overseeing hull, planking, framing, this Purple Heart stern, anything to do with the hull, and Pete is tackling that house over there. So tell us about the project. What have you guys been working on lately?
Well, I'm building the horseshoe stern for the boat. It's all Purple Heart, lots of big pieces.
Heavy.
Very heavy, South American wood.
So how's it going to be bolted together? What kind of materials we chose? It was originally iron, but we're going to
It's going to be with 3/4 inch bronze through bolts. We're able to get most of the old steel out of the boat, so we're going to switch it over to bronze.
And it's just built like a big cake, one layer on top of
One
another.
layer after another, yeah. There's going to be a big, thick bottom layer and a big, thick top layer, and then 4-inch layers.
Kind of all bolted together and then corked up with cotton and oakum.
Yep.
And what are you working on, Pete?
The house right now. Mostly trying to rebuild the front of the house. The house sills are shot, and trying to recreate the forward curve and sort of the structure up there.
So what's on the horizon next 3 or 4 months? What kind of things we got going on?
The stern will go in, the new keel will go underneath the boat with the new stern post and stern knee. And we're wrecking out the rest of the old build stringers that are going to come out, and we'll be doing more mold stations up forward and rib banding, getting ready to frame.
Are you about as deep in as you think you will be on the hull, or any more secrets, comments, surprises?
I don't think so. I think the rest of the backbone...
Not much left.
Yeah, there's not much left. Yeah, the stem's coming out, the forefoot's coming out.
Nothing's very hidden anymore.
Yeah. So the keelson looks good, the horn timber looks good, the dead wood there looks good. We'll redo all the sawn frames, and then once we get up into the bow, we'll look at the clamp and shelf and build stringers up there. But so far, those look pretty good.
That's good. So Pete, you think the house maybe late fall of 19, if the boat's ready to put it back on, or maybe spring of 2020, something like that?
Yeah, no, I think that sounds good.
Yeah.
I think the house will be ready before the boats, before we want it up there in the way. It's really nice having it off the boat for all the work that's happening up there too.
Yeah.
A little extra room, no narrow side decks.
Yeah, we got to get that whole deck on before
it
goes up.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to say, you guys have put together an incredible team. I mean, we've got A+ guys working on the project, 6 guys every day. Couldn't ask for a better group of people. It's really great to be working with you two again on this project, and man, it's wonderful. So thanks.
It's good. It's not very often you get to do stuff like this, and this is pretty much what all of us have been.
No, you and I should say this is like indulging your fantasy.
Yeah,
it's like I get to build a new boat almost. This is crazy.
We've been dealing with little projects for 30 years, hoping something like this would come along.
Right. I mean, 100% replank and reframe. It's kind of land boat project. So
pretty fun.
So let's do this every couple of months, or every couple of weeks even, and just keep people going on the project. So thanks again.
All right.
Thanks. Good. And thanks for taking the time to watch the videos. And I have to say, I'm really enjoying making them and sharing the project with everybody. And if you're enjoying watching them, why don't you consider subscribing? Thank you again.
That was just so you can't use that.
I know, if you ever make a mistake while he's filming you, you just gotta swear.
You just got to scream.